Hello, everybody. Greetings, greetings. It's good to see you all here. Mercury is still in the shadow aspect of retrograde. So, Terry, I can't hear her, so she's going to try to reboot her computer. And I don't know where Joan is. So, you got me. I'm here. I'll see what I can do. While I'm waiting, welcome to everybody. Thank you. I already have some questions up already. Thank you so much. And it's great to see you all here. And I'm really excited about some things I'm working on. I wanted to tell you about. And hopefully they'll all work out. They didn't come to me in a dream, but it did come to me in a sort of an epiphany. So I decided to do it. But first, I want to tell you about this beautiful stone that I have. It's one of my favorites, and it's Trollite, Troll, like a troll, Eite. Okay, Karen, I'll put you on the list. Um, and it is, I love blue. I feel like I could go swimming in this one. Isn't it gorgeous? There were a whole bunch of them that somebody was selling, and I said, give me the darkest one you still have left. So I ended up getting this just the other day, although I have another couple of pieces of it somewhere. All right, Hypnicity. I will put you down here. I'm hoping Terry can make it. She's trying to reboot her computer. Anyway, Trollite helps remove the blocks or obstacles in anybody's spiritual journey. So it's really good for that kind of thing. Talk.
Okay, can you hear me?
No.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know. He's tried 4 times. You did buy the same shape yesterday, but in shungite, Patricia. Shungite's wonderful. It's very grounding. Yeah. This one is to use for rituals or meditation practices. It will inspire, motivate, and attract an abundance of opportunities. And of course, it's very calming. You heard her? You could hear her? Really? Okay. When she comes back, you'll have to tell me, and maybe it's me that has to. You can hear me, and you could hear her, right? All right. Yes, Brenda, you can be on the list. I need to know what you want to, I need what you want, the question you want. Okay. There you go. All right. Okay. That's weird. Last week we had double Joan. Okay. I don't know why I can't hear her. Maybe I'll have to go out and come back in. All right. Once she comes back, I will let her know. I don't know. See, Mercury takes 2 weeks to come out of retrograde. You still have the effects of it. So even though we're already on our way out, it's still there. You were talking about shungite, and this is not shungite. This is something that I do hold, though, for grounding. Any dark stone can be used to be held for grounding. This one is called hyperstein. Hyperstein. Yes, Patricia, sure. I'll put you on the list. This is a stone of clarity, and it aligns the third eye, and it helps us to organize our thoughts and develop our inner vision. So I have those kind of hanging out with me here but I will tell you, if you have a piece of quartz or even like something like this, you don't want to leave it too close to your computer. Okay, Brenda. You don't want to leave it too close to your computer because it can tend to wipe out your drive. It did with my brother. He lost, I don't know why, but the crystal he had, it was huge. It could be his reason. But my older brother, who was also metaphysical, had a crystal by his computer and he lost a lot of stuff on his computer. And that was the only reason. It wasn't for any other reason. So anyway, hi, everybody. We're working on a Mercury retrograde issue. As soon as Terry comes back, I'm going to leave and come back in, but I will put up the questions for Terry to start answering as soon as she can get back here. And I don't know if Joan is going to show up today or not. We did ask her to come, but she may have gotten caught up in something. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm working on a new series, and ooh, Patricia, the Liquid Crystal Oracle book. Well, that's wonderful. I'll have to check that out. I like that. Working on a new series. I promised this series last year, and I was not able to deliver because of anything blue. Brenda Murray is good for your throat chakra because throat chakra is blue. So even the one that I was holding up first, Trolite, turquoise, anything in the bluish color would be excellent for that, for a throat chakra. All right, Amy. Anyway, I'm doing a series on the Ascended Masters. I'll be doing Lord Buddha first, and I'm going to do that one by myself. But now here's Joan. Let's hope Joan, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Can you hear
everybody,
me?
can you hear Joan? All right, Terri. Can everybody hear Terri? Talk, Terri.
I'm here.
Okay. They said they can hear you, but I can't.
But you
So
can't.
I'm going to leave and come back in.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to put up a question for you ladies to answer for them while I do that. And so we don't waste any more time. So, but I can't still hear you, but it must be my problem and not yours. So
Can you
I
hear
can't
me?
hear you either, Joan. No,
Okay.
but they can, right? Everybody can hear. You can hear everything. All right, Karen. Thank you. So I'll be back. Let me put up something for you.
Sure.
Megan wants a reading, but I'm going to put this one up only because, and we'll put yours up next, Megan. Annie wants an update on her information. Okay. So let me go and I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay.
Joan, I'll just read the question out loud.
Sure.
Annie, an update on my progress with soul light in nature is very much appreciated. Okay. So,
I'm wondering if soul light and nature are generic terms or if those are the names of guides or something like that. I think they're just generic terms, don't you think?
I think I'm just going to go in and see what I see.
Okay, I will too.
Okay.
Annie. Okay, what does this mean, Spirit? Okay, what I saw, per usual, was a little odd, and I didn't understand at first. But the first thing I saw was sort of like a fan that was unfolding, and then it became like this, sort of like a collar or something behind you, and I thought I didn't understand what it meant at first, but it's like a fan, it's unfolding. So it's and then it became sort of like you were this model strutting down the catwalk, and and everything was looking very put together and very professional and very, very chi. So I think things are unfolding and you're on the catwalk, which is a path, and you're on the right path.
Oh, that's so funny. All I keep thinking of is On the Catwalk. That song.
Oh, well, so I was meditating before I came on, like I usually do, and my guides kind of showed me something different, but it's back. So obviously, what I was looking at was for you, probably a little bit for me, but mostly for you. And so they brought to me this pinto pony. And by pony, I don't mean a pony. I mean, it's a horse, but a lot of times the really handy horses we often call ponies because they're so easily used and everything. And so I see this lovely pinto pony. You are walking beside it. You are going down a path and it's like you're reading tracks in the dirt. You're reading tracks, you're leading the pony. But you and this pony work really well together. You can swing up on him anytime and go faster if you need to. So, Spirit, tell me a little bit more about what does this mean for her? Well, again, like Joan said, you're on the right path. You are moving ahead in your soul light, in nature. At least I'm seeing you in nature with this pony. Just in case it means a lot to you or not, but this black and white uh, paint or pinto pony is also decked out in Native American symbols. Often they painted their ponies before going on a journey or going into battle. And I see feathers braided in its mane, and it's an amazing horse. I love horses. So, but anyway, so you're on the journey, and you are the master of this journey. So I think that's what all I'm going to learn is you're the master of the journey, and you can keep going. You're right on the path. You're fine.
Wow. All right. So I just pulled some cards after coming back. Phew, it's hard to go out and come back, isn't it, ladies?
Yeah.
First one I got here for you, Annie, is you're going through a beautiful uncaging. Look at the heart, and at the center of the heart is the lock, and you've got the key to that lock, and you are beginning to move through it, and you're beginning to be able to reach the real core of what it is that you're working on. They suggest that you have your ears wide open, not necessarily your eyes. I don't know if you get any if you're clairaudient at all, but if you are, this is a little fennec fox. He's reminding you to listen, but you can also listen to music. You can listen to the words that are being said, and sometimes those are messages as well. Just be careful of this. Sometimes people float some smoke and mirrors your way, or anybody's way, our way. They're trying to be flashy. They're trying to take us off track. Make sure that you just don't go there with them. You can always send them love and light and move on, but just be careful of that. That's very important. There we go. All right. Thank you. And thank you, ladies, for being here today. Since it's been, I was telling everybody, it just makes sense. We're in the Mercury retrograde shadow. And
Yes.
so,
I had my technical difficulties last week, so this week it's your turn.
Yeah, and I thought it was Terri all this time, so I apologize, Terri. But right after you went out the second time, they all said we heard her. So I thought, oh, geez, all right. So anyway, thank you so much, Annie. We're glad to have you here with us today. I hope you feel like you got the message there. So Megan would like to have a reading. I don't know that we've read from Megan before. I asked her if she had anything specific. And she says, I'm wondering what to do with my horse. So look at that, Terri. So awesome.
Okay.
Oh, Annie, you're a Native American elder close with nature. Perfect. Bless you, dear. Okay, Samantha, thank you. You're painting your heart at this moment. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay, yeah, Megan's your first time here. Well, we're glad to have you here. All right.
It might be interesting to know if your horse is elderly. For some reason, I keep getting elderly, but I'm wondering if I'm actually on the right track here. I'm getting a lot of different input. So.
Okay. Also, would it help to have the horse's name? Would that help or not? It doesn't matter. Okay.
Go ahead, Joan.
Yeah, I was having a little bit of trouble getting through too. I just saw a horse, and I don't know if you live in a cold climate, but I kind of saw it with its winter coat, and you were putting a blanket on it and caring for it and feeding it, but you weren't riding it. So I too was getting the idea that it might be nearing either you need to make a change or it might be nearing transition time. But I got the feeling that if it is a transition of ownership, that that this horse is very bonded to you, and if there's a potential for making a transition, and Terri probably knows more about this in the 3D world too, of to another party or to a shelter of some sort that that would keep the animal, that it would be something that would be not like they pull up with the trailer one day and off it goes, but somebody that you could introduce the horse to over time in its current situation, and to kind of help ease that transition. And if that is the case, to spend some time just when you're feeding and putting a blanket on and being with the horse, just quietly talking to him or her about, you've taken such good care of me and I love you so much, but the circumstances have changed, whatever they are. And I'm doing my very best. There's this other place for you and it's going to be fine. And just kind of talk to her about it, because on a soul level, he or she's going to understand.
Okay. She said that he's young, but she has an older one, and she's in New York State. So
okay.
So that's the cold weather you saw.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that makes it really harder actually, because one of the reasons I thought that the horse was so old is I saw it in its winter coat too, but it was way fuzzier than normal. So I thought, oh, maybe it's old as well as in a winter coat. Maybe I'm picking up on the wrong
horse. So it might be better to have a name for the one that you want us to read on.
Yeah. Well, let me just
sure, of course,
look in a little bit more and see if I can see what's going on here.
All right. Horse's name is 50.
50. Oh, well, okay, 50.
Oh, maybe that's it.
50.
If they need to, if there's going to be a change for the older horse, the younger horse, because they're bonded, and both of them need to be kind of prepared for it.
I see.
Okay, so I'm very sorry. I'm not getting very much here. I'm just seeing a horse that's a lot fluffier than normal. It's in the coal. It's a nice horse. Well, I guess they're all nice, but it is a young horse that now I can see it's a young horse. It will understand if you have to move it to something else, to somewhere else. It is a horse that's very alert. Very much alert, on top of things. But it holds no anger at potentially being moved or anything like that. It does recognize that it's going to have training. It's going to have more training. And I think what would be good is, as you make changes with this horse, or even the older horse too, just like Joan said, talk to them out loud. Let them know. Even though they probably don't completely understand our English, they understand the feelings that you're giving them. So I'm sorry that I'm not getting much, but that's all I have.
So the other day, of course, Mark is an animal person, and sometimes he's on with us, and he might be able to also give you a little bit more. But I did have another animal lady on last week, and she was saying, whatever kind of animal that you have, whatever, if it's a horse, a dog, a cat, whatever, explain things to them like they are a person. I'm sorry that I got to let you go. Or we got to make some changes here. There was somebody that was going to have their dog fixed or their cat fixed. and the cat was screaming, no, 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 until the cat knew it was for their health. And so I know this sounds kind of silly, but it doesn't hurt to talk to them and tell them what's going on. What I got was there's a cage. This horse is feeling a bit trapped. It wants freedom, and it feels as though it's in an oppressive environment. And that could be because it's winter and they're inside the stable more than they might be, especially if you've had a lot of snow there. So I get the cage, and I get here that, you just adore him. You just adore this little baby. So it's really hard to know what to do because he's active but he's a lot of fun. And also your older horse probably feels the same way about him. He's just a good baby. And so there will be risks involved if you're wanting to keep him or you wanting to let him go, because you will have the situation where it's the toss of the dice. Do I stay or do I go? That kind of thing. So I think you need to search out your heart and see what works best for you. But he is very active, and I think he's just feeling it's winter, and he's such a small, he's such a young animal that he probably thinks this is it, But anyway, I hope that helps. I hope that resonates for you. Yeah. All right. Thank you for your question. All right. We have the Emerald Buddha. And the Buddha is going to be my first ascended master that I'm going to talk about. So there you go. Yeah. She'd like a message from her guides, please. Thanks, Hypnicity, for putting up Mark's channel. Yes, Megan, if you want, Mark's an animal communicator. He comes on, we rotate. He comes on the channel some of the time, but he also has his own show on Saturdays, and his channel has been put up for you in the chat. Okay. Hi, Captain Morgan. Row.
Right away when I tuned into Emerald Buddha, my solar plexus chakra lit up. And to me and so I was saying, okay, what's this about? And it's about self-confidence and listening to your intuition. So they are saying, listening to your intuition will give you the self-confidence you need. So it's lots of times you kind of get that gut feeling, pay attention to it. And maybe that's not how you experience it. Maybe you're hearing, kind of feeling a little nudge or something sort of at the back of your mind that you chase away and say, well, that's impractical or whatever. Take the risk and follow it as much as possible. And if it turns out that was the right thing, even if they're reminding you, remember to take the keys out of your pocket and put it back on the key rack, which they were just doing to me today. Saying, thank you very much. And help develop that relationship, and that will make you more self-confident in yourself and in your attunement.
Excellent.
So Emerald Buddha, I on my stage I saw all your spirit guides. You have quite a few of them. They're there in a line, but they're really short. And I'm like, what does this mean? Because they're probably not really actually short. They're trying to tell me something. So as I got down a little closer and got a little lower and looked at them, you are learning some new things right now, and it could be both spiritually and in the 3D. And instead of zooming out and taking this different perspective, they are saying zoom in, get microscopic with these problems or with what we're showing you. We're going to show you something really small but significant. It's very tiny. So go ahead and zoom in, dwell in it a little bit. Get try to take a closer look. If they give you something, Google it and dig into it. So that's what they're saying. Dig into what we're giving you and showing you right now. Whether it's spiritual or 3D, get in there and see what's going on.
All right.
Did you have anything?
I do, unless you
Oh,
wanted to go first. You want to go
Oh,
first?
I've already gone.
Hello, sorry.
That's okay.
You are an artist, Emerald Buddha, whether you look at yourself that way or not. What you do in your work is sheer artistry, quite honestly. Not everybody can do what you do. You are floating really well along on your journey, and it looks like at this period of time, it's pretty clear sailing for you. You're making progress, and you're doing what it is that you need to do in order to achieve that progress, because you have the strength and you know what it's like to be like a willow tree and bend in the wind. The willows are the ones that last because they are able to take the wind, and you have the strength to carry on it. And actually, what you do for work is the same thing. It's very definitely. Now, this last one, I don't want to freak you out if you're not. It could be that it isn't what it specifically says it is, but I get mother. Now you could be pregnant, or you could be birthing something. You are, because mother, or the fact that you nurture other people is a very mothering thing to do. So, either way, it's beautiful, it's lovely. We need to honor and send lots of love to the mother, and thank them all, for your journey. So if you're not pregnant, then you're already a nurturer. So there you go.
Oh.
All right. Very good. Thank you so much. Hi, Lady Souls. Good to see you. All right. We have Karen, who would love to have a reading. All right. Karen. Welcome to all the new people. A lot of people over from Facebook as well. I would say that if you are a medium or a psychic, we're happy to have you here. I would appreciate it, however, if you would not advertise to come over and get a reading at this point. I wouldn't do that to you, and so I'm only asking you not to do that here. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Once again, I am getting feelings instead of seeing things this time. And what I'm feeling is the heart chakra lighting up. And the message I'm getting is, remember that that's your connection to the universe, to the other realm. And the mind is the connection to the 3D world here. So, we live in the 3D world, and we have to, pay the rent and get the sidewalk shoveled, which is what I was doing today. But whenever possible, lead with your heart, or at least be aware of if you get in your head too much, see if you can just sort of take a break and do some deep breathing and let it go and drop into your heart and look at it from a heart standpoint rather than a head standpoint, and kind of flip problems on their head, and they can take on a whole different resonance.
Well, I am definitely going to build off that heart, get into your heart, because what they at first, as I was looking, they showed me like an umbrella, and the umbrella was kind of moving up and down, and then I realized, oh, there's somebody hanging on to the umbrella, and it basically they're showing me Mary Poppins, okay, Mary Poppins, and she's floating around, and I'm like, okay, what does this mean? Is she Mary Poppins? Is she, what's the deal here? So they're saying what they actually want you to do is embrace the properties of Mary Poppins. Think about the old movie. Mary Poppins was exceedingly magical, so exceedingly actually spiritual. But remember how firm she was. She was firm. And that's what they're calling you to be firm in your actions and firm in your love. I love or something. It's like they're not saying, oh, be this really mean woman telling what she wants to everybody. But what they are saying is that firmness is also love, because it helps guide the people around you so that they know how to be with you. They know what you need. You know, everything is nicer when you know where you're at, when you know how things stand. It's much nicer to have some firmness. So they want you to firm up something. So if I were you, I would kind of maybe even experience that movie again and experience that kind of very magical but kind of firmness of Mary Poppins.
Maybe
And
it's the boundaries. Maybe that's the firmness.
maybe,
It could
maybe
be, you know, we can be loving and kind, but at the same time, we have to say, nope, sorry, can't do that, and feel good about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Allie. I think you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And know that you're practically perfect in every way.
That's right.
Yes.
So I get the same thing, Karen, and I understand why you're a little confused. Because it's some conflicting messages, you know, be hard but be soft, be soft but be hard, that kind of a thing. And I will tell you this, that I did not learn in my youth to put boundaries up for anybody, because that would have been like, you don't say that to adults, or you don't do that. That wasn't the thing to do at that time. But I'm getting here that solitude, maybe you have too much of solitude. Maybe you don't have enough. I'm not sure. But that will lead you along the way to figure out just where the balance is, because I'm thinking that it's the balance that you need. You don't necessarily need to be, nasty or mad or angry or whatever. You just need to have your boundaries, and you also need to be able to do what it is you want to do. Too much? Too much? Okay. Okay. Too much to do? Too much to ask of you? Is that what we, let me know what you mean by too much. What I'm getting is you have to take care of yourself. That's the key, I think, to all of what we're saying. Just do some self-care. Love yourself. You are very important. You're a very important person. So if you're feeling like it's too much, then too much alone. Okay, I get it. You're alone too much. Okay. And it looks like you've been waiting for something, maybe waiting to see other folks. Do you have a pet? That might be a way. But staying home alone too much is isolating. It's very isolating. That's why this card came up. The guides are worried about your well-being, and you need to balance it out a little bit. So Annie says meditation helps her. If there's like a senior center you could go to, maybe, where they have activities. Again, I don't know how your lifestyle works it, but you do need to take care of yourself. I do see that, Karen. And yes, the solitude did come up first, so that makes sense. Thank you so much, Karen. If you live near me, I'd invite you over for a cup of tea. Because I think maybe you just need a friend and just to have somebody to, just enjoy time with. So I send you lots of love. I do. Welcome to everybody who's come in. Okay. We have our hypnicity. This is funny because we were talking about her grandfather the other day when we were talking about Switzerland and a ski instructor. And this is what she wants to know about. He passed away when her dad was 5. His name was Frederick. He would have been 126 or no, 1926. So sorry. So he passed away in 1926 in Switzerland. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Frederick.
I kind of like hearing about the Switzerland thing, because hypnicity, when we read you, I keep seeing all those little hats with the little feather on it. That's very, I guess, Swiss, or kind of in the German area. An Homburg hat, I think.
Mm.
That makes my other readings make sense a tiny bit. Okay.
I'm getting right away Switzerland, and I thought what came to me right away was someone skiing in kind of the old-fashioned ski stuff with the big long poles that had. Anyhow, we won't go into ski equipment, but it was someone skiing and going really well, turn here, turn there, and then took a tumble and took a fall. And it wasn't a bad one. And but you know, kind of all full of snow and everything. But he just got up and smiled and took off again. So I think that message is to have the fun and to have the rush of the fun of skiing and being on the mountain and using your body that in that way to make it, you know, to make the skis do what you want. To have that fun, you have to take the risk of taking a tumble once in a while, but just pick yourself up and shake it off and head downhill.
Yeah. All right. Terri, more? Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting, well, that was just a question before, but I'm getting a
Right.
message that's like, he's a little bit, it's a little bit like I'm saying, he's saying sorry just a bit, but not like a deep, in-depth, you know, sorry. And what he's saying is that he is sorry that he had to leave so early because he didn't then get a lot of chance to be with your dad and to pass on the knowledge of his ancestors on to his son and of course on to you as well. So it feels like he's just a tiny bit regretful of that. At the same time, he's also showing me how proud he is of you and your dad and, you know, what all of you made of life without him. You know, he really wished he could have been there to help, but this was also part of his path. What do you need to tell him? What does Hypnosty need to know today? Wow, they kind of brought me back to Joan's ski. He brought me back to Joan's skiing, and he's really directing my eyes to your feet, that you are moving ahead and skiing, and he's very proud of your prowess with your ability to skate, to slide, to go with the flow. So. Yeah, that's
Look at that. I got a surfer. How that's pretty close, you know, because when you're on the snow, you're surfing the snow, really. You're surfing. And that was where he was the happiest is what I got. I find it interesting that in about 1925, 1926, my mother's mother died and she was alone all those years. And, you know, because things were not as good as they are nowadays, you know, but I often wonder what she would have been like. I would have liked to have spent some time with her. And I actually had no grandparents. They were all dead before I was born. But he's definitely a surfer. And he says, I'm right there on the branch. See me up there looking at you? You're sitting down there doing your thing, and I'm watching over you. Don't worry about it. You and I, we're good friends. I've been around for a long time. And he says, you're right in the flow. You are right in the flow. If you get a chance to go to Switzerland, I have been to Switzerland. I had my first feeling of oneness with the world in Switzerland. I went up to Mount Lucerne, and I was sitting at the top of Mount Lucerne, and the Swiss Army or the Swiss Air Force went over my head as I was sitting there, and I felt totally at one. You have been. Okay. It was the only place in my life that I've ever had that feeling. It was just wonderful. So I think I had a lifetime there. I'm pretty sure of it, in fact. But wow, I'm glad you've been there because it is a place that is magical too. So.
And I got a final message again back on the ski slope, and he was just saying, enjoy the ride. Don't worry if you fall once in a while. That's part of the journey.
Part of the journey. Very good. Yeah. That's awesome. And I see you work there too. That's awesome. Anne is here from New Zealand, and I don't know if you people are familiar with Jacinda Ardern, she's just stepping down. And I said to Anne, I'm so sorry, because I thought she was fabulous, but I think she just had a baby, and I think all of this is a little bit too much for her. But she was a fabulous prime minister, I think. So
She's young. Maybe she'll be back on.
37. Yeah, she's only, or was 37 when she got it. Patricia Hayslip, may I ask about my dad who turns 90 in 2 weeks? Patricia, please put his first name there. By the way, Brenda Murray, put your husband's first name there, please, too. Okay. Because that's coming up. All right. Amazing how some places give you that. Yeah, I know. That's really cool. Yeah. All right. So we're working on it. Be helpful. Daniel, but uses his second name, Brendan. Okay. And he has passed. Is that correct? Oh, no, he's not passed. He's going to be 90. I am so sorry. Goodness sakes. I apologize. Okay. He uses his name, Brendan. Thank you. 90 years old. Wow.
When I tune into him, I was seeing sort of a stylized image. I don't think it's the real him, but he was moving slowly, but he was out kind of at a park, walking slowly down a path and looking at the flowers and the trees, and and then he said, it's all about the little things now, and the beauty of nature and the connections with family. And there's plenty of the other stuff, the aches and pains and the, of the physical stuff. But he is aware of the little things that just mean a lot. So you don't have to have a big, huge celebration, but if, for him to see family or to see just a little memento or a little connection, or even just telling a story about fun times you used to have, just a little thing that might brighten his day, something he hadn't thought about in a while. Wow. Those are like the candles on the cake. Those are the things that'll light him up.
Yeah, first of all, as I kind of tapped into his energy, I could tell that deep down he's a pretty tough guy. Meaning, yeah, I mean, really, if you make it to 90, you're already.
Yeah, I know, you have to be.
So,
yeah.
But what I felt like I heard him almost say was the wonders of it all. Those little things that Joan talked about, the little things of life are just so wonderful. Just the wonders that here he is. The wonders about how much our society's changed since he was young.
Yes.
What
he's lived through. Yeah.
Yeah. I would I absolutely back up what Joan said, that this would be a great time that you're going to have a celebration with him to tell, if it would be nice to hear from him some stories, like what happened when he was a child, or some interesting things. But you know what? I really do think that his spirit is kind of yearning to hear how he impacted you. Some stories of like, Dad, do you remember when you took us fishing here? Well, you didn't know it, but I did X, Y, Z, and you told me not to, and I really felt bad for doing that, and thought, you're so smart. Stories like that to remind him that he matters. He matters a lot, and that you learned some of the lessons that he had to.
It's really beautiful. I love that. I love that. She's going to fly up for a party in February, and so tell him the stories and have him tell you the stories. There's nothing like it. You can't get it to come back afterwards. after, we pass, we can't get those times back. Oh, I wish you so much fun and so much love.
Yeah.
I get here, the clock is ticking. So it's almost time to go. And when the time is right, those stories will come out. And it looks like you're all busy as a bee getting ready for this 90th birthday celebration. Maybe he is too, if you say he's sharp as a tack. That's great. And, it could be that there's something that makes him feel vulnerable or somebody feel vulnerable. I don't know if you're planning to have a big party or if you're going somewhere and bringing him somewhere. I know one thing. Older people don't like to be treated old. And I'm not saying you treat them that way. I'm just saying my husband gets upset if my kids worry about something, and I'll say that's okay. They're your kids. But they don't want to be not counted. We don't want to be not counted in what we think and feel. So Patricia, I think it's wonderful. You have a wonderful flight. Have a wonderful time with your dad. That's fabulous. You're welcome, dear. Lise has told us that David Crosby has passed today at 81. David Crosby is the father of Melissa Etheridge's children. He donated his sperm to Melissa Etheridge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I remember, and I think maybe some other folks. And anyway, beautiful Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, one of our wonderful icons. I don't know. I don't think we're losing any more than we usually do. It's just that it's impacting us more because of the ages we're at and the songs and things we used to listen to. So I'm sending you on your way. Absolutely. Picking up on Mom, who was a handful there in early dementia. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that, dear. I'm sorry to hear that. That is very, very difficult. Yep. Yeah. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. All right. Have a great time.
I had tickets to one of their concerts in 1974, probably. And
Oh,
I had
cool.
to drive with my best friend up to the city to hear it. And we parked the car and walked in. We're so excited. And we got to the door. And I remembered then that the tickets were 50 miles away.
Oh my God,
I
no.
locked them on my desk at home and
Oh my. And there's no such thing as even faxing anything at that point. No,
that hadn't been invented yet.
Oh, wow. I bring up that's so I'm sorry. So you didn't get to obviously go to the concert. That's awful. Oh. The song that impacts me the most, there's a lot of them, but the one that I share with my students is Ohio. When they talked about the Kent State shootings, 4 dead in Ohio. That one really touches me because that was about 1970, I believe. And anyway, yep. Oh, they were at Woodstock too. Yes, they were.
Yeah. It was like their third gig or something like that. Okay, enough of rock history.
No worries. Brenda Murray, I'm still waiting for you to put your husband's first name up, please, if you can. I'm going to move on to Lise. Is there anyone coming into your life? Oh, well, there could be the meter reader, and the garbage man might be coming by. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Well, right away, my third eye lit up, and the message is, you bring them. You envision who you want to bring into your life and experience the feeling that that person is already there, and put more of your focus on having that experience without the physical manifestation of it. And that's what will draw that person to you. Okay, so Spirit, if Lise does these things, this is kind of weird, but I saw, okay, there's this person with dark hair, by the way, and sort of kind of curly, that was standing like this, and a ribbon was wrapped around him. And then you were on the other end pulling the ribbon, and he was going twirling, twirling, twirling as he was coming toward you. So you're the one who gets to unwrap that gift and bring this person to you.
And my vision, I think, is it kind of instructing you how to find that person a little bit. Because they're showing me a peregrine falcon, and they're showing me that you need to look. You need to be more more cognizant of what's going around you. But they also say the thing is when they're showing me the peregrine falcon fly, they're also talking about flow, about the ease of movement, the ease of looking for that. So I get the feeling that somebody is coming into your life, but it's not so hard to find this person. But keep your eyes open, just like the peregrine falcon, and
There you go.
look a little, look a little differently. And to me, that kind of says look a little differently. It's like don't rule somebody out just based on like their looks or this person might be a little unexpected.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I'm getting explosive events that come up. And my first thought was maybe it was a person that was in the service originally. That came up. But something's about to happen. And look at this. Ooh la la, you got some kisses coming. Woo!
Oh,
flirting and intimate conversations. Looks good to me. And you're divinely protected. That's the best part. Be great if you could find someone with your similar likes and dislikes. So, yes, hope he makes you laugh. That's right.
And I just grabbed the pendulum to just ask yes or no. And I said, is someone coming into your life this year? Yes. The first half of the year? Yes. By Valentine's Day? No. But by Easter, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Joan reach for her pendulum, so I asked my family asked yes or no, and it said yes. So okay,
all right. Might be something explosive. I love it. not in a bad way. Not in a bad explosion way. All right. Connection with husband. Brenda would like her husband's name was Kelly. All right.
So is she wants a reading for her departed husband Kelly?
I believe he is on the other side. Brenda, I just want to make sure. Is that true? Sorry, I have to keep asking you questions, Brenda. I should have asked you before. Yep, we got Kelly. Has he passed is the question, or is he alive? He passed. Okay, thank you. That's what I thought. All right. I'm sorry for that, for your loss.
I saw someone with coins in his hand, and then he took, there were like 4, 5, 6 silver coins, and then he put it in someone else's palm, and that person's palm closed. And I asked, so what's this about? And it said, it may be that he wishes that he would have been able to give you more money or leave more money or whatever. But the idea is he's continuing to send you riches, and to treasure the experiences you had together, as well as we treasure, financial things. And I'm not sure if that was in your hand or if it was a pretty small hand, but I don't think it was a child. I'm not sure. I'm going to go with, I think that, okay, Spirit, was that Brenda's hand? Yes. So that was directed toward you.
Okay.
So Brenda, if well, he's telling me something about fishing. I don't know if he was a big fisherman or he liked fishing or that the message has something to do with fishing. But he's showing me something about fishing. And is this evidence that of who you are?
Hard to hear you, Terry.
Okay,
Kind
I
of.
was just asking Kelly if that was his evidence, if he's showing me evidence or is he showing a message about fishing? Okay,
Did he like fishing?
right. So Kelly, do you have a message for Brenda? Huh.
Yes, he loved fishing, she says.
Okay. Okay. So
Got the right guy.
got the right guy. Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
Kelly, what is your message for Brenda? He's making me feel the strength of a building. He's showing me something very upright. He's just making me feel like he's very strong, and that he hoped that in life he left you a strong foundation. Strong foundation. That's what it is. He doesn't want you to have to do all the fishing, trying to reel in some money and things like that. He is hoping that he left you in a better position and with resources. He's showing me the fishing tackle. He's showing me like a bottle of eggs, that's and your hooks and it's so resources. I think he's showing me resources.
Resources. Okay.
And I don't know that he was the most romantic guy in the world, but he still had romance in him because I thought, oh, I could see him kind of gathering something together to give to you. And I thought, oh, it's going to be flowers. How romantic. It's fish. Okay. It's giving you some fish. So he was one of those solid guys, not necessarily probably the most romantic, but he still is showing you how much he loves you and hoping that he gave you a lot of resources to help keep going without him.
Oh, she says he taught her many things. That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Thanks, Brenda.
So this reminds me of you, Joan, because it's going on a road trip, and Joan did that after her husband passed, and so you're in the driver's seat. He's saying, I'm not there anymore, so you're in the driver's seat. I don't know if that's the driver's seat of the boat or the driver's seat of your car, but you're the one that makes you are the person that steers the rest of your destiny. He said, work, he said, I've tried to put in hard work for you. You're building something, and it's I can see what you're doing, and you're doing a good job with it, even though you're not with me anymore. I'm watching over you, and I'm just as close as anything to you. So don't worry about that. She says, I love fish. There you go. No wonder why she was happy to get that. So he does want you to fight for the greater good. He says, maybe sometimes somebody might give you a little bit of trouble. Don't let them do it. Don't let them do it. You stand on your own 2 feet and let them know what you think. I'm proud of you, and I watch you every single day. And no wonder you got all that fish waiting for you to fry. Oh, that's good, Brenda. I hope that helped. Thank you for your answers. Yeah. All right. I've got to tell you who we got left, ladies. I don't know how much longer you are able to come to stay. So you're in different part. Joan's in a different part of the country. So I have Amy, I have Ward, I have Thelma, and then I have Valerie, Stephanie, Lady Saul, who, if we can get to her, Shawana and Catherine, I'm not sure we can do all 8 of you. And I know people have been putting extras. We just can't do it. We started an hour ago. So we can do a few more, I think. Ladies, it's up to you.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I don't think we can read all of those. So
All right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What?
That's
What do
fine.
Should we
you
try
say?
like 15 minutes or so?
Yeah.
15 minutes. All right. We'll get to what we can get to in the next 15 minutes. And we are here every week, same time. If you get here early and put your question in, you're sure to be read. And tomorrow I'm going to have a guest on that isn't a medium, but we'll be able to do readings, and so you can ask questions at that time if you want. All right. So we have Amy wonders if she could get a reading from her spirit guides.
I see a microphone. And then, whom I am assuming is you, you're kind of on stage with the microphone. So they're encouraging you to speak up and use your voice, and you've got the talent, and this is your time on stage. What is it? Your time to strut and fret your hour upon the stage. And yeah, be confident. Speak your truth. Get out there. Okay, Spirit, how can we make this more practical? You have something to say. And you don't have to be loud about it, but they're encouraging you to not just keep your feelings inside, and you don't have to be, I don't know, mean or anything. But I think it kind of gets back to what we were talking about boundaries too. Just let people know, use your microphone and say, no, you can't step on my foot like that. Or no, I can't do that. That just goes against my principles and my rules. So God bless you and send you on your way. But this is how I'm choosing to approach this question in life.
Wow.
Terri,
It's a boundary thing. It really is.
I think I'm seeing something much like it. So at first they showed me an old building, and it was painted in a deep kind of a blue, more tealy blue. And the building had all this white woodwork that was very, very kind of loopy. That old fashioned, what you would find in a 1950s kitchen where the valance would be kind of carved wood. It was very much like that. And again, they said the foundation is good. The foundation is good. So that means your foundation is strong. But what I'm getting from this building is I'm like, enjoy what you have. It's giving me this real vintage feel. So there's something, they're trying to say something about this, about vintage, like enjoy the little things in life, enjoy the old vintagey things. Maybe they're suggesting taking a walk back in memory lane to make you feel really good right now. But so somehow I'm getting a very vintagey feel. So there you go.
Got the nostalgia card. You're feeling nostalgic, past memories, because it's the camera. We take pictures. And I said to my husband, I said, it's like when you watch an old video of a newscaster from the 80s even, and it looks so different than it does now because of the technology. But the same as with stills. We look at them and they were either only in black and white or, whatever it was at the time. But yeah, feeling nostalgic. It says you are awaiting and you have a desire to be noticed. And that's not in a bad way. And it's what Terri calls, I see on my stage. So there you go. You have that opportunity there. And it says here you have determination and endurance. You got the horse, which is freedom. You have the freedom to do what you want to do without any constraints. And also the freedom to set your boundaries just like we were talking about earlier. All of us need to do that. And you know, it's not to be rude or nasty, but we have to let people know, I'll go with this, but I can't go with that. You know, I can't do it. So thank you, dear. Thank you so much. All right. So Ward, are you still here, Ward? Just give me a little nod that you are. He's got a question about astral travel.
Ooh, this is interesting. I've never done this before.
Okay.
Let's see if there's
Is
if
it
we can
possible
find
to
this place.
what places he astral travels to? My dog is grumping at me. All right. Yes, Ward's still here. Good. Okay. Thanks, Ward. All right. Oh, so you can hear, touch, and smell, but you can't see. Wow.
Well, I'm going on a fun little journey here. I saw a beach with palm trees, and then I was taken on diving underneath the ocean with a big sea turtle, and seeing all the coral and the fish and all that. And it's sunny; you can see the light shafting through, which is great. And then went into a little. There was a round. It was like a portal, but it was rock, and into this cave. And then it was, there was a little bit of sunlight shafting through, but it was in kind of this cave, and you could come up into this environment. So it's like to me, and this might be symbolic rather than what the real place is that you're going, but you go through the ocean, under the ocean, up through into an underground cave that is dimly lit, but quiet and a little echoey, that kind of feeling when you get into a big space and you can feel the space around you. It just has a really nice feel in there. It feels very safe and kind of magical.
He's wondering if it was Atlantis. It almost sounds like it from your description.
Oh.
Or Lemuria, maybe. Yeah.
Wow. So I didn't get taken to Lemuria or Atlantis. But so right away they like flew me out into the universe, out in the stars, and I'm seeing you. They're showing me that you in the stars. So they're not showing me where you're at. They're just showing me out why you can only hear and touch and probably taste. And you're there, and you look really solid, like you got your feet on the ground. Well, what ground? I mean, there's no ground, but you're solid. But you have a white blindfold on. And so as I'm interacting with your guides around you, they're saying, we are tuning up his senses. Without the sense of sight, he has to hear more deeply. He has to feel more deeply. He has to touch and try to interpret with his hand. He's using more of his senses, but we will eventually they just grab the end of the blindfold tied behind your head and just pull it off. They just undo the bow and it comes off in you. So you will get to see where you're at. Right now, they're just tuning up your senses this way. So that's amazing. Please, keep us in the loop here. I love your journey.
What you're saying makes more sense of the cards that I pulled. So first of all, I agree that the other senses are being asked for you to understand more before they let you see it. It's because they want you to heal for whatever reason. It looks like it might have been a past life, of course, and in a spiritual place, and enjoy the serendipity, which is what you experience when you're there. And they said, it's almost like an amusement park. You know, you're excited by being there, and we want to give it to you a little bit at a time. You know, we don't want to overload you and put you on that huge roller coaster just yet. But I get that you used to work in this environment as well. So that makes sense. You may have been a crystal healer, you may have been a shaman, or you may whatever was something you had your work there. And they're trying to bring those two lifetimes, this one and that one, together for you. And that's where they're bringing you to, so that you can feel that connection with that lifetime and hopefully remember all of the things that you were taught at that time. Because we forget, you know, we go into that. So you went to a spaceship, you went to you saw cat-faced humanoids,
Ooh.
and also a place with shiny rainbow colors. Wow.
Wow.
So it could have even been another planet then, Ward, correct? Yeah. Could have been that you were on another planet. Wow.
I mean, I do feel like when I was reading that I was almost picking up a past life on a different planet.
Okay.
That's part of it,
Okay.
I think that's part of it.
That's part of it. Okay. Well, I think though that they're doing this bit by bit, like you ladies said. They're teasing you into it, and so you're seeing some of it. If you say you've seen these cat-faced things, and you are seeing a little bit of it, you just can't see everything yet, but it's a coming.
Very
wow.
cool.
Thanks for the question. Everybody loved the question, Ward. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. And the reason everybody can't see Ward's question or his response is because he's here from Facebook. We're dual streaming, and so you can only see responses on the Facebook page and not here at YouTube. So that's what it is. And so, because we've got some folks in here. Oh, thank you, Nalani. We love you too. Okay. Anything from Spirit Guides? Another Facebook. This is Thelma Truitt. She herself has the power. She's got the power. So there we go. This might have to be the last one because we'll be at an hour and 15 minutes after. So I apologize to those we can't get to today. We sure do love that you're here, and I'm sorry that we're not able to do you today.
Now, before you said she's got the power, I was seeing her blowing a big bubblegum bubble that got really, really big. And then all of a sudden, it was a hot air balloon taking her up into the sky. So what does this mean? What does this mean for Thelma? And then you said what they said, that she does have the power. You have the power to rise above it all and to make your own, make it all come true.
Wow.
To just kind of be in touch with, it all starts with your breath. And you can take yourself to this place where you are both enjoying the ride and getting a higher perspective on things down on the ground. So it's just kind of saying, do your meditation and the breath work to raise your vibration, and you'll see things that in a different way, from a different perspective, things that seem to be a problem when you're just kind of dealing with, there was a car accident. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? It's like, okay, there's a different meaning here. It was probably this or that. And you've got the power to do that within you. And they know that you do this already, but encouraging you to do that on the regular, as Susan Lynn would say.
So on my stage, they have a little campfire, and they have you sitting cross-legged by the campfire, and your spirit guide are around as well. And right away, so it's kind of going to be odd that we're going to go from the floating balloon down to the ground, but they have you on the ground in my thing, and they let me know that you are a master in this situation. In other words, some people, if they were hanging out at a campfire with all their spirit guides might feel like, oh, I'm not supposed to be
Stop
here. I'm not
barking.
gonna be here. And they're saying, oh, no, you are part. You are the part. You are on the team. You're part of the team. You're completely a master in this situation. And they're
Come here.
showing me
Say hi, everybody.
that despite the fact they have you on the ground, so close to the fire, and they're working with you, they're developing more of your sense, your clairs, more of everything, but they're also calling attention to that the smoke is rising. The smoke of the fire is rising. So you're connected from earth to heaven, and that they are showing me you are developing stuff with them. You're developing more of your practice. And I also get the feeling that they want you to take a little bit more time out and meditate. You know, like, I don't know how you meditate, however you meditate, but a little bit more time in quietness to hear them a little louder.
Okay.
Could you repeat that last? It was a little hard to hear.
It's
A little more time in quietness. Is that right?
Yeah, they want her to spend more time in meditation, however she meditates, but in some way they want you to incorporate quietness.
Okay.
To be a little quiet so you can hear them better.
Hear them better? Okay.
Great. Thank you.
So I got Thelma, you continue speaking your truth, and because you have the gift and you should share that gift with others, and however that comes to pass. And you also have the wisdom of the owl and know how to teach this information. So there you go. Do you have a brother? Do you have a brother? I don't know if you have a brother or not. If not, it could be a person that is like a brother or a cousin or something like that. That person has either a message for you or is part of who you are. They're holding on to it's kind of funny. They're holding on to like a kite. So that's just come through. I'm not sure, but that person is there to give you more spiritual guidance. So if, I'm not sure if you have that, Thelma, but it might be something to think about at that time. And I have a lot of brothers here. I call them brothers, even though they're not my real brother. That we're brothers in the journey. So brothers and sisters in the journey. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We are here usually at 2:30 Pacific time, 5:30 Eastern time on Thursdays, and we have two or three other people here. Different people come in and come and go. Some of you are saying you're not getting the memo that the show is on, and I'm sorry about that. I'm having all kinds of problems. I've lost 45 people, just boom, one day. 45 people gone. So I think sometimes you have to check to see whether or not your messages are still there, whether you're still subscribed. If you haven't been here for a while, sometimes they unsubscribe you. So if you get a chance to do that, then that would be helpful. But I'm sorry that happened. It is, thank you, Lise. It's just a cheap one, but it's a lot of fun. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, ladies. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.